stakeholders involved. I am Mr. Zulu. It is Tuesday, Physics Tuesdays, and today we are going to do a photoelectric effect. I am with my colleague, Mr. Mtiane. Sorry to just arrive a little bit late. We were just sorting out technical issues. Remember, this program is to ensure that we reach our threshold, we reach our goals, and get the maximum marks that we can in physical sciences. In order for us to do that, teachers as well as students, we need to understand that this is the topic where we need to score maximum marks. We really need to score maximum marks in this topic. Okay, remember that our slot it's still like this. Paper one, what we are covering right now, it's under metals and material. So we need to make sure that we understand each and every segment that we cover because this 15 marks, we want all of it. So I will let my colleague, Mr. Mtiane, to come and do the first part and introduce the theory. Because one of the main problem with students in this topic, it is to ignore theory and rush to calculations. Whereas theory is the fundamentals of these particular topics, because other things can be confusing in a statement when the theory is not understood. Okay, I will let my colleague, Mr. Mtiane, and then he will then continue with the following. But before he continues, optical phenomena and properties of material, this is where we are at, which means in paper one, we're done with paper one. We're just going to do paper two now and few of the revision of paper one because this is the last thing that we have to do for paper one. Okay, then Mr. Tiana will continue with the bit of theory that we have. Enjoy the lesson. Stay tuned. Remember the Q&A there and the register. So ask as many questions as possible and make sure you sign the register. Enjoy the lesson.
Okay, welcome, grade 12s. I hope you are good. I'm Mr. Mtiane, as Mr. Zulu has indicated. I will be taking you through the theory of photoelectric effect. Okay, photoelectric effect, the word photoelectric effect, you must understand that is the composition of two words. We have photoelectric effect. So photo means light. That means everything that you are going to do here will deal with what? With light. So we must understand the light from grade 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that light can behave as a wave and in nature and can behave as a particle. So now we are going to look at the photoelectric effect. That means here we are looking at the light. What will happen with the light? For example, let's just look at the statement. We are looking at the particle nature of light. Should see, as we said that the light can act as a particle and can act as a wave. Now we are looking at the particle nature of light. Okay, then the photoelectric effect occurs when light is shown on a metal's surface, and this causes metal to emit electrons. There are three things that I want us to focus on today. Light, we look at the lights, and we look at the metals, and we look at the emission of what? Of the electrons. This means we're going to look at the light, and we look at the metal, and we look at what? The emission of electrons. If the light is shown on a metal surface, then electrons will be emitted. Okay, remember we are going to look at light, metals, as well as the emission of electrons from that metal. Okay, well, let's look at the metals. Metals are bonded in such a way that they share their valency electron in a sea of delocalized. It has what? The delocalized sea of electron, the sea of delocalized electrons. In order to get an electron to be removed from the surface of a metal, because in this case of photoelectric effect, we are removing the electrons from what? From a metal surface using what? Using light. So in order for the electron to be removed from a metal surface, you will have to provide it enough energy. We know that if the electron gets the energy, it's become excited and move towards to the higher energy level or to the higher energy states. So you need to provide, the light will provide energy to what? To the electron. Then this electron that has the energy will be excited and move to the higher energy level or out of the metal. So it might happen that this electron is moving up to the high energy level, but it's not escaping out of the metal. It might happen that it's escaped out of the metal or it is remain on the metal because of the energy that is being provided. The only thing that will guide us ukuthi electron will be emitted, yes or no, it's what? It is the energy that is provided by what? By the light. So in order for escaping the electron, then you need to provide the electron with what? With energy. Okay. The energy that the light provides, enables the electron to escape. And this phenomenon is called what? Photoelectric effect. Photo means light. That means what's a pen here? The light is shown on the metal, and that light provides the energy. We're gonna look at how this light provides energy to an electron. Then the electron gets excited and move to the higher energy state or escape from the metal. If it escapes from the metal, that means it's where the photoelectric effect, okay, because it says the energy that the light provides enables the electron to escape. And this phenomenon is called the photoelectric effect. This means the photoelectric effect, in other words, it is a process whereby electrons are ejected from a metal surface, provided that the electron gain an energy that enables that electron to move out of the metal. Because it can gain the electron, it can gain the energy. That won't enable the electron to escape out of the metal. So for photoelectric effect to occur, the electron must get sufficient energy so that it will escape from what? From a metal surface. So the metal, it has a sea of delocalized electron that will gain the energy and move out of the surface of the metal. Okay, let us look at the lights. I said we're gonna look at the lights, metals, as well as the emission of the electrons. Photons of any photon energy. Then this is a new way to us. Photon energy. What is photons? In fact, if you are looking at light as a particle in nature, the light is made up of tiny or little packets that are called photon. These packets are the packets of what? Of energy, called quanta. These little packets are called what? These packets of energy, these are the photons. Photons are the smaller packets of energy that are found in light. So that means the light has what? Has photons. The light has photons. And these photons has what? The energy. These photons carries what? The energy. That energy is the one that will be transferred to what? To an electron. Then the electron will gain the energy and become excited to move to the higher energy level. So that means, in other words, the electrons, they absorb that energy from what? From photon. They take that energy and use that energy to move to the higher energy level or escape from a metal surface, which acts as a particle. So the energy of the photon, because we said that the photon, they have what? The energy, little packets that are found in light, can be calculated in one of the two ways. So we must know, we must be able to calculate grade 12, the energy that the photon has. Ukuthi le photon lena ngabe ne energy engakanani. It depends on what? It depends on the frequency of light. So they will give you the energy or they will give you what? The frequency. If they give you frequency, you must be able to determine what? The energy of the photon. You must be able to determine the energy that will be transferred to an electron. Okay, then this H, okay, let's start here. E stands for what? E stands for the energy of the photon measured in joules. Energy of the photon, this is measured in joules. So if we are calculating energy, we know that the energy is measured, all the energy is measured in joules. So then H is a Planck's constant. Planck's constant, I'm sure we know Max Planck. So this is the Planck's constant. The Planck's constant is what? Is 6.63 times 10 to the power negative 84 joules per second. So we use this value. This value is a constant mntanami. Uzoyithola kuphi? Uzoyithola kuphi ephepheni lakho kwi-question paper ngemumva. The Planck's constant. Makuthi uyikhohliwe ukuthi it's 6.63 times 10 to the power negative 34. Uyithola ephepheni lakho ngemumva. That is a Planck's constant. Sirepresenta ngobani? Ngo-H. Na ngobani? Ngo-H. Then this one is the frequency. The frequency is measured in hertz, Hz. Capital letter H and small letter Z. That is the frequency of light measured in hertz. So if you are given a frequency, you can get towards the energy. That energy is the energy of the photon, the energy that is found in light. So it's the energy that will be transferred to an electron. Then that energy is izosebenza kuphi to assist the electron to escape from a metal surface. Okay. You can get energy using this formula, or you can use this one. But this one is being derived from this formula, because we know that C is equal to frequency multiplied by what? Multiplied by lambda, which is what? Which is the wavelength. This is the wavelength. So this formula, this C is the speed of light. This is the speed of light. We know that the speed of light is a constant, which is what? Which is 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. You must know that C is the speed of light, which is 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So you can calculate what here. You can make the frequency a subject of the formula. If you make the frequency subject of the formula, that means we'll have what? F is equal to C divided by what? By lambda. Then you see that, okay, frequency is equal to C over lambda, which is a wavelength. That means in the place of frequency here, I can remove or I can substitute frequency with what? With C over lambda. That's why here ubona sekukhona bani u-C over lambda, because then they say E is equal to H multiplied by C over lambda. Then here H times C, it's HC. Then all divided by what? By lambda. So these formulas are the same. It's just that here, there's two formula. Here you were given the frequency, then you determine energy. Here you are given what? You are given the wavelength. You determine what? The energy. The speed of light is on your question paper again at the back. So speed of light and H at the back of your question paper. So you can be given the wavelength and you can be given the frequency. If you are given any of these two, you can determine the energy that will be transferred to an electron. This means the energy is this one, this energy is the energy of light. Is the energy that the photon carries towards, that will transfer towards to an electron. Electron that is on a surface. This means we are talking about the light and we're talking about the surface, because the light will be shown on what? On a surface, will be shining on a surface. The light is shown on a surface. Then if the light is shown on the surface, then these photons, they transfer energy to what? To electrons. Then electrons, they gain that energy. Which energy they will gain is this energy. that you can calculate now, because you know the formula. If you are given the wavelength or you're given the frequency, you can get what? The NH. Then we have talked about the wavelength. Wavelength by definition. So the wavelength is the distance between 2 points that are in phase. Two sensitive points that are in phase. So it's measured in meters. Then the speed of light. The speed of light, we have talked about the speed of light. It is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. And we represent the speed of light as what? As c. So now don't be confused. If you are given a frequency, use this formula. If you are given wavelength, use this formula. If you say, okay, this formula is because we have the wavelength. You determine what? You determine the frequency using this formula. Then based on your straight formula. You can use either of the two, then you get the same answer. Then you can get the energy of the photon or the energy that will be transferred to an electron. Okay. We are looking at the metal again. So we said we are looking at the light. Here we were talking about the light. We were talking about light, how to calculate the energy of the photon in this slide. Then on the next slide, we are looking at what? On the metal. Okay, if you are looking at the metal, in the metal, the frequency required, there's a frequency required to produce enough energy to emit electron is called what? The threshold frequency. This means there is an energy required by the metal to release the electron. So it's like whenever we are saying the pass mark in grade 12 is 20%. That means for you to pass, you must reach that 20%. Oh, let's use the benchmark. Okay, the pass mark is what? It's 30. In order to get level 2, you must obtain what? 30%. So in order for you to pass, get level 2, you must reach what? 30%. Same thing applies to a metal. If you wanna emit the electron from a metal, there is a certain threshold you must meet. So there is a threshold frequency of what? Of the metal. That's a frequency that you must meet so that you can emit the electron. Okay, if you got in your marks, then you got 27. Remember, the pass mark is 30, then you got 27. That means you failed. If someone got 32, that person passed because the minimum, the threshold was what? Was 30. The other one has 32 and the other one has what? 27. The one with 27 is failed, then the one with 32 passing. So same thing applies here. There is a threshold frequency, there is a minimum frequency that the electron must gain from what? From a light. So that frequency is called what? The threshold frequency. And it's represented by what? By F naught. So it's F with a small letter 0, as you see here. So it's F naught. So that's the threshold frequency. It's sometimes called a cutoff frequency. It can be called a threshold frequency or a cutoff frequency. That frequency must be met so that electrons will be emitted from a metal surface. If the electron gets the frequency, this is less than the threshold frequency, this means it won't be emitted from a metal surface. Okay, the threshold frequency is the minimum frequency of incident radiation at which electrons will be emitted from a particular metal. This means the electron must receive a certain frequency greater or equal to a threshold frequency so that it will be emitted from a metal surface. If we receive a frequency of light that is less than the threshold frequency, this means it won't be emitted from what? From a metal surface because it hasn't reached, that electron won't reach the threshold of a metal. If metal it requires 20 hertz then all the electron must get a frequency that is equal to 20 hertz or greater than 20 hertz. So that will be emitted from a metal surface. Because if it has a frequency that is less than 20 hertz that is required on a metal, this means that electron won't be emitted. Yes, it has a frequency, but the problem is that the frequency is less than the threshold frequency. So if the frequency is less than the threshold frequency, therefore electrons won't be emitted from a metal surface. Okay, if you are defining the terms, please use what? Use exam guideline. Use exam guideline when you are defining threshold frequency, when you are defining frequency, when you are defining what? Wavelength. So don't use your own definition, because if they are marking according to exam guideline. But there are keywords on the definition that you must include in your definition. There are keywords. If you are defining, please make sure that you include all the keywords when you are defining some terms. Okay, let's continue. So then, because we have a minimum frequency, by the frequency, you can determine the energy, as you see in our previous slide. That means also in a metal, there is a minimum energy required by the metal to eject the electron or to emit the electron. So the minimum energy needed to emit an electron from a metal, from the surface of the metal, is known as what? Is known as a work function in Tanam. So we represent work function as W with small letter O. That is a work function. So that is a threshold frequency. That is a work function. A work function is an energy again. So also a work function is measured what? In joules, because it is an energy. It's measured in joules, capital letter J. That is capital letter J in joules. So since it is an energy, that means also the formula for work function will be equal to HF. But this F must be the threshold frequency, because the threshold frequency will give you what? The work function. The frequency will give you what? The energy that will be transferred to an electron. So there are two things. If you want to get the energy that the metal require, that is the work function. If you want to get the energy that will be transferred to an electron, or the energy of light. So the energy that was created by the photon, you get what? The energy using that frequency of light. In that one, you use the frequency of light. This one is the frequency of a metal. It's the frequency required by the metal to eject the electron from a metal surface. That is a work function. We introduce two weights, new two weights. That is the work function as well as the threshold frequency. I'm sure you are familiar with the frequency that we used before, as well as the energy. Okay, this H, I'm sure you still remember, it's the Planck's constant, which is 6,63 times 10 to the power of negative 34. Frequency of the metal, which is the threshold frequency, or a cutoff frequency. Then that one is a work function. That is the energy required to emit the electron from a metal surface. Okay, for example, let's make an example. If the work function of a metal is 10 joules, that is the work function of what? Of the metal. Then first electron, this is the first electron, has 6 joules of energy. This electron will be emitted from this metal surface, yes or no? The answer is no, because the energy that an electron, this electron has, is less than what? Is less than the work function. That means this electron will not be emitted from what? From a metal surface. But if you change the light, then maybe the second light is given electron the energy of 30 joules. This means now the energy of the electron is 30 joules. The electron and is shining on the same metal surface. This means the work function is the same. For this light that was shining before and this light that is shining now. The work function is the same since we didn't change the metal. So this electron, waves will be emitted from a metal surface. Why? Because the energy that the electron has now is greater than what the work function. That means it has met the what? The required energy. Because kulo 30 bekade kudingeka bani? Bekudingeka u10. Shuthi sengina-20 more. Sengino-20 njani? O-extra. Ozosala kuphi? Kwi-electron. Ngoba u10 uzosebenza kuphi? Kwi-work function. Then u20 bese uyasala kuphi? Kwi-electron. Then sizokhuluma ngalo energy ukuthi lesele kwi-electron izoshonaphi. Ngoba la we have u10 ozosebenza kwi-work function bese banobani? No20 ozosala because 30 minus 10 is what? Is 20. So bona ushonaphi. Okay. Here la sizokwazi ukukhuluma khona ngawo. Frequency of light versus the threshold frequency. There are 3 lights here. If you can see, this one, it has a greater wavelength. This one, it has smaller wavelength compared to this one. Then this one has the smallest wavelength. Okay. What does this mean? You know that wavelength is inversely proportional to what? To the frequency. This means this one with a longer wavelength, it has what? The lower frequency. This one has a lower frequency. This one has what? The higher frequency. This one has a higher frequency, lower frequency, and a higher frequency. Okay, and there's this one. Then all these 3 lights are shining on what? On a metal. Let's start by this one. If this one, this light, light A, light B, light C. If light A is shining on a metal, you see it's shining on a metal, but this electron is not emitted. What does this mean? It means that if light A is shining on a metal, it provides an electron with an energy, but the energy is less than what? The work function is less than what? The requirement that is needed to eject the electron from a metal surface. This means the energy here is less than what? The work function. So electron will not be emitted. Electron will not be emitted because the energy that the light will provide to an electron is less than what? The required energy or work function. Okay. Light spin. Let's look at light spin. You see the electron for light spin. It is on what? On the surface of the metal. That means it is out of the metal, but it remains on the surface of the metal. What does this mean? If ucabanga. Yes, it means that the energy that was provided by what? By the light. The energy that was provided to an electron is equal to what? Is equal to the required energy. Is equal to the work function. Because the electrons manage to escape from what? From a metal surface, but doesn't have any energy to move away from what? From a metal. Then it remains on the surface of the metal. So we are saying this energy, this electron is emitted, but there is no kinetic energy that is remaining on an electron that can enable the electron to move. Because the kinetic energy enables the electron to move from a metal surface. Okay, this means we have the formula. It says E is equal to the work function plus EK max. Then let's talk about, we talked about E, we talk about work function, let's talk about EK max. What is an EK max? So EK max, it is the maximum kinetic energy. It is the maximum kinetic energy. kinetic energy. Maximum kinetic energy. Then where do the electron get that maximum kinetic energy? That's kinetic energy. So this kinetic energy, i-energy asuke esesele nayo, i-electron esesele nayo after some energy is being used as what? Quick function. After energy is being used as a requirement to be emitted from a metal surface. That means, okay, then if the energy is used as a work function, then the remaining energy will serve as what? As EK max. Then that EK max will enable the electron to move away from the surface of the metal. Since this one didn't move from the surface of the metal, it means that E is equal to WO plus 0. The kinetic energy is what? Is 0. Why? Because it doesn't have what? The kinetic energy to move away from the surface. Okay. This means this one has a greater frequency compared to B, compared to A. This means light B has higher frequency, than light A. What informs that conclusion? Then light A, because light B manage to emit the electron out of the surface, out of the metal. But for light A didn't meet even the requirement of emitting the electron. At least light B managed to meet the requirement of emit the electron from a metal up to the metal surface. But also this electron is emitted with what? With 0 kinetic energy. They don't have the energy to move away from the surface of the metal. Okay, let's look at light C. You look at the electron that is being emitted by light C. Look at this electron. This means this electron was here, and also this one was here. This one was emitted and remains on the surface, but this one was emitted and moved away from what? From the surface. It means it has the kinetic energy to move away. Therefore, the energy that was transferred to a metal is greater than what? The work function. Is not even equal to. Here on P, we can say energy is equal to what? The work function. Energy is equal to what? The work function here. Here, energy is less than the work function. So here, energy is greater than what? The work function. That means there will be some remaining energy. E is equal to work function plus what? Plus EK max. Then, if the energy serves as a work function, there will be some remaining energy as one, as EK max, that will allow this electron to move away from what? From the surface of the metal. Let's make an example. Using that example, let's say a work function is 10. This means work function is 10. Then the energy that was provided, it was 8. So the energy is 8. Let's get EK max. So EK max, here I will have 8 minus 10 is equal to EK max. 8 minus 10 is 20 joules. 20 joules, EK max. That means there is a remaining energy of what? Of 20 joules. This 20 joules will assist the electron to move away from what? From a metal surface. I hope we are still together. What you are looking here, it is the energy. that the light will provide to an electron versus the energy that is the requirement. If the energy of light is less than the requirement energy of the work function, electrons will not be emitted. Electrons will not be emitted. Electrons will not be emitted. But here, if the energy is equal to the work function, if the energy is equal to the work function, so the energy of light is equal to the required energy, that means that electron will be ejected, will be emitted. But with what? With a zero kinetic energy. They will not move away from a surface. They will remain on the surface of what? Of the metal. Then that means light B has a higher frequency than light A, because light B manage to emit the electron, but also with what? With a zero kinetic energy. Then light C has a greater frequency. Has a greater frequency compared to all these lights used here, because it's managed to eject the electron from a metal surface. Also, the electron never remaining energy as a move away from the metal surface. You see here, energy is directly proportional, or is proportional to what? To the frequency. If the frequency of light increases and the energy also increases, is equal to HF, provided that H remains constant. Then if you increase the frequency and the energy will increase, that means light C will emit the electron and there will be some remaining energy. But light B will emit the electron with what? With a zero kinetic energy. That means that electron will remain on the surface of the metal. Then light A will not emit the electron from a metal surface. I hope you still remember how to calculate the energy. Okay, let's move. Okay, if the energy, that's what I was talking about, if the energy of the photon exceed the work function, what will happen? If the energy of the photon exceeds the work function, then this means the light, the frequency of light exceed what? The threshold frequency. The threshold frequency, it is the required frequency. A required frequency is less than what? The frequency of light. What will happen? Yes, electrons will be emitted because they will get what? The energy of the photon is greater than the required energy, which is a work function. Then the electrons will be emitted. Then the excess energy is transferred to the liberated electron in the form of kinetic energy, as we indicated in our previous slide. That the remaining energy is also as what? As a kinetic energy to assist the electron to move away from the surface of what? Of the metal. Okay, we had three cases. Energy less than the work function, electrons will not be emitted. Energy equal to the work function, electrons will be emitted, but with what? With zero kinetic energy. Then the last one, if energy of the photon is greater than the work function, electron will be emitted and you will have remaining energy that will be what? A kinetic energy that will assist the electron to move away from the metal surface. Okay, let's move. Then the kinetic energy of the electron can be determined as, so the kinetic energy of the electron is determined as energy is equal to the work function. You know the work function, EK max, and this is E. You can change that formula and say E, you know that E is equal to HF. Then work function is equal to HF naught, then plus EK max. So you can go straight if you are given the frequency of light and you know the threshold frequency, you can go straight and calculate what? EK max. You can use this formula because you know this is an energy of light. This is the work function. Then you find what? You find EK max. That is the kinetic energy of the electron. They can also ask you to calculate the speed of the electron. If they ask you to calculate the speed of the electron, you know that you need to find EK max first, because EK max is equal to half mv squared max. That is maximum speed. Okay, now m is mass of the electron. M is the mass of an electron, which is 9,11 times 10 to the power of negative 31. So that is the mass of an electron. Then this is V, that is the speed of an electron. They can give you the speed and ask you to calculate what? EK max. Then you use this formula. Or they can ask you to calculate what? The speed of an electron. So that's these are easy marks. So try to familiarize yourself with doing the calculations. You will see that these are easy calculations. If you know this formula that we are talking about, then you can get easy 5 marks. Okay, let's move. Let's look at the graphical representation of what we were talking about. Okay, this is a graph of what? This is a graph of kinetic energy versus what? The frequency. Kinetic energy versus the frequency. An increase in frequency will increase the kinetic energy. Why the increase in frequency? It increases the kinetic energy. Because if the frequency increases, it increases what? The energy of what? Of the photon. If that energy increases, as we back to what? To our formula is equal to the work function plus EK max. If metal ingashintshiwe, that means work function lona remains the same. Work function njani uyafana. So if I decide to increase what? The frequency, that means if frequency will increase what? The energy. This energy will increase. If this energy increases, the work function will remain the same. Yini will increase. Who increase bani? EK max. Ingakho ke statement sithi an increase in frequency will increase what? The kinetic energy. Because the frequency increase the energy. But the work function remains the same. Ngoba imetal yona kanjani ayishintshiwe. That means kuzo increase bani EK max. That electron will be emitted with a high speed. Because mass increase EK max will increase the speed of an electron. Okay, let's look at the graphical representation of it. Okay, here EK max galana frequency. Asqala if frequency is 0. This means it's less than the required frequency, which is the frequency. Here, still less than, here, still less than, here, still less than, here, still less than. Up until this point. At this point, the frequency of light is exactly equal to what? The threshold frequency. What will happen there? If the frequency is exactly equal to the threshold frequency, that means the energy is equal to what? The work function. Then we are going back to the conclusion electron will be emitted, but with what? With 0 kinetic energy. However, work function is equal to what? The energy of light. Then that's why here where the graph cuts the x-axis, we are saying this is a threshold frequency. Because it's where the electron will be emitted, but with what? With 0 kinetic energy. Should that frequency is exactly equal to the threshold frequency. That is frequency. That is exactly to the threshold frequency. Then we say, oh, this is a threshold frequency. Then any frequency here is greater than the threshold frequency. If it's greater than the threshold frequency, this means electrons will be ejected or will be emitted from a metal surface and have what? Kinetic energy to move to the next electrode. So that's why here it is emission, here no emission. frequency of light is less than the threshold frequency. Here, the frequency of light is equal to the threshold frequency. Here, the frequency of light is greater than the threshold frequency. Here, from here, electrons are emitted, but exactly at this point are emitted with zero kinetic energy. Then after that, are emitted with a certain kinetic energy to move with. I hope we are still together. Okay, then let's look at the graph whereby you are given now the wavelength, not the frequency. As you all know that the wavelength is inversely proportional to the frequency. This means here, this is a higher wavelength, then this is the maximum wavelength, this is the lowest possible wavelength. Here, this is the lowest possible wavelength. This is the highest wavelength. So we are going to know what's the graph of EK max versus now wavelength. The y-intercept indicates the maximum EK max kinetic energy. Then la x-axis are indicator any wavelength. Why on this side now to no emission, but on this side there is what? There is emission because the wavelength is inversely proportional to what? To the frequency. This means the higher the wavelength, the lower the frequency. The lower the wavelength, the higher the frequency. Shuthi lana ifrequency yami njani? Ifrequency yami njani? Ifrequency yami inkulu ngoba wavelength njani incane. Shuthi ifrequency mayinkulu. The energy njani inkulu. Therefore there is what? There is an emission. As the increase the wavelength, it decrease any frequency up until we reach at this point. This means the wavelength at this point, is equal to what? Is equal to, it gives you the threshold frequency. It gives you the threshold frequency. We call it a threshold wavelength. It gives you the threshold frequency. That is where the electron will be emitted with zero kinetic energy. Then after that, if you increase the wavelength, you decrease frequency. The frequency is less than the threshold frequency. That's why no emission. Ngalana, the frequency is greater than the threshold frequency. That's why we have what? We have emission. This graph is the same as the previous one, but this one would signify a threshold frequency. Okay. Now, we are going to look at the factors that will affect the emission of the electrons, which will be the intensity as well as the frequency. Basically, the intensity is the brightness of the light. We will see how, if you increase the brightness of the light, how that will affect what? The ejected electron or the emitted electrons. Okay. If we are increasing the intensity, we are increasing the brightness. Okay. What impact will be caused by increasing the brightness? Increasing the intensity, brightness of light, means that there are more photons now. Shooting increase photons amaningi with the same energy. Ungalenzi iphutha lokuthi ucabanga ukuthi ama-photons now asemaningi then i-electron izothatha nga-2. No, i-electron ayithathi nga-2. One electron, one photon. Shuthi mengabe sengiletha ama-photon amaningi kuchaza ukuthini lokho? I have more photons. That means more electron will get that photon. This means more electron will receive energy. Not to receive a greater energy, but receive the same energy. But say we receive bazoba baningi manje. Baningi asebezo receive energy. Shuthi baningi asebezo emitted per second. So frequency is the same. By increasing the intensity, we do not interfere with what? With the frequency. The frequency of light is the same. We only increase the number of photons that's striking the metal. Should we are increasing the chances of emitting the electron? Too much, I have more chances to emit the electrons because I have more what? Photons. This will result in more electrons now is emitted more with the same kinetic energy that was emitted before. So intensity affects the kinetic energy of the electron, but it affects in number of electrons ezoba emitted per second. So now the number of electrons emitted per second journey is to increase because I have more photons now striking what? The metal. Okay, with the same amount of energy. The energy affecting the intensity. Thus, the number of electrons emitted per second increases. They can ask you the number of electrons, or they can ask you what? The current. If the number of electrons emitted increase, that means nani ne current injani izo increase. So the current intensity might increase, the current injani iya increase. Okay. Note that the energy of the electron remains the same. I've indicated that the energy of the electron remains the same. The only thing that will affect the energy of the electron is the frequency. Since we know this formula, EK max. E is equal to work function plus EK max. The only thing that will affect the energy of the energy is what? The AK max is the energy that is frequency, not the intensity, brightness. All right, don't make a mistake. If they say maybe a certain light is shown on a metal, then electrons are not emitted. Electrons are not emitted. But they say with that same light, they increase intensity. Intensity doesn't initiate ukuthi ama-electrons kanjani abe emitted. Shuthi ngisho bengayi-increase i-intensity. Uma ukuthi abekade enga-emitheki before, awa-emitheki namanje. Ngobani? Into ezokwenza abe-emitted i-frequency. Shuthi ngoba i-frequency ingathintekanga, ngisho bengayi-increase i-intensity. If abenga-emitheki before, awenza uku-emitheka. Ngisho ngathiwa bathi, okay, now we are using the same light with a higher intensity, then also electrons will not be emitted. Ngoba vela before abenga-emitheki. I-intensity izoba ne-impact only if ama-electrons abe-emitheka ekuqaleni. Now you increase the intensity. That means manje izo increase in number of electrons emitted per second, not the initiator in number of electrons to be emitted. Whose electrons are emitted? The only thing that will initiate some electrons are emitted is frequency. So don't confuse the two. If intensity nyuka kodwa ama-electrons abenga-emitheki, shuthi nayo intensity ayina effect. Kodwa if inyuka ama-electrons kade emitheka, shuthi nayo ke lapho i-effect. Ngoba injani izobe increase those number of electrons abe emitheka kuphi per second ukuthi manje kuleli second besi-emitha 50. Sesi-emitha ngakho 100. If sesi-emitha 100, this means the number of electrons emitted per second injani increasile. That increases what? The current. If benga-emitheki lutho kodwa mina ngi-increase i-intensity, still akuzo-emitheka lutho. I hope usenda ndawonye. Then here is a photocell. There's a picture of the photocell. Here is a metal. Then electrons will be emitted here and move to the collector, which is the next electrode, then flow through here. That's where banani ne flow of any current. So electrons will move in this direction. If you emittek, azongabikho la electrons. Since electrons, this light has a frequency that is greater than what? The work function. We can conclude that. So if photocell ibuya kanjena, siba ne metal ngala, siba ne collector ngala, then electrons are moved from the metal, are emitted from a metal, I go P, we collect. Okay. Then here we have low intensity and high intensity. You see, by increasing the intensity, you see the number of photons that was emitted, that was striking the surface. Here is this is a metal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have only 6 photons. But by increasing the intensity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now we have 13 photons that will strike the metal. This means la bengizofike 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bengizokhipha 6 electrons. Kodwa ngalana ngizokhipha ngaki 13 electron. Shuthi in 1 second ngala ngikhipha 13 electron. Ngala in 1 second ngikhipha ngaki 7 electron. Imama electrons amaningi engiwakhiphayo. Ilana sekunyuse ini intensity. Ukunyusa ama-electron per second kunginyusela ini? Kunginyusela i-current. Provided that abe emitheka vele before. Kodwa kuba benga-emitheki, ngisho ngayi-increase intensity yami, ngeke aza emitheke still ama-electrons. Okay, intensity and frequency. Okay, if the frequency of the incident radiation is below the cutoff frequency, which is the threshold frequency, then the increasing of the intensity of the radiation has no effect. Lento bengisho before ukuthi uma ukuthi frequency was less than the threshold frequency, ngisho ngayi increase your intensity has nothing to do, has no effect with what? With the current or the number of electrons emitted. Since electron, so it does not cause electron to be ejected. Intensity does not cause the electron to be ejected, but it only increases the number of electrons that are being emitted. Only if I be emitted before. Mawuthi abenga emitted, ayikwazi uku-initiate ukuthi kanjani a-emitted. To increase the energy, let's increase the energy. The frequency of radiant light need to be increased. Must increase E is equal to HF. Let me rub here because sengibhale kabi. Okay. E is equal to HF. E is equal to HF. If you decide to increase the frequency, you will increase what? The energy. If you increase the energy will increase what? Since the work function remains the same, will increase EK max. So if that energy is greater than the work function, electrons will be emitted. Shooting frequency affects what? EK max. Intensity affects what? The current and the number of electrons emitted per second. So if Betty by increase the intensity, how is EK max? That means EK max remains the same. Because I know that in the aspect EK max in a frequency. Since the frequency ngathintekanga, then EK max will remain the same. No, when I increase intensity, but EK max remains the same. If Betty by increase the frequency, how is the current? The current will remain the same. Ngoba if frequency, increase the frequency, we increase the number of electrons emitted, but so increase the speed of the electron. Should see the number of electrons emitted is a fan, but are emitted with what? With a high speed. So high speed, lower ways to increase the current. The only thing that affects the current is the intensity. The only thing that affects EK max is what? Is the frequency. Don't confuse the two. Then it's 2 marks work. Okay, as well. And increase in intensity at a constant frequency. At a constant frequency increases what? The number of electrons emitted as well as what? The current. Also the current. Then an increase in frequency at a constant intensity. Should that intensity increase? We increase in the frequency. When we increase the frequency, we increase in EK max. That means the kinetic energy of the electron will what? Will increase. Then those electrons will move faster. So we're gonna look at the graphical representation of the intensity. But to the high intensity of radiation, the more electrons are emitted per second. We have talked about that. Therefore, an increase in intensity will increase the current produced. The higher the frequency, more kinetic energy is provided to the same number of electrons. Same number. In the affects number of electron intensity. The frequency affects any kinetic energy of the electron. So the rate of the electrons flow remains the same. So Mauto emitter 5. So emitter 5. God has no emitter with what? With the high kinetic energy. Okay, here is a graph of A intensity. You see here the number of electrons ejected per second. So in 1 second, how many number of electrons are ejected? With low intensity, here is the number of electrons that is ejected per second. By increasing the intensity, here is the number of electrons now is being emitted, because we are looking here at the number of electrons emitted. This high intensity, greater number of electrons emitted per second. Low intensity, lower number of electrons emitted per second. Let us understand this graph. Why intensity ingakhonjiswanga on this section? Why ingakhonjiswanga on this section? It's because intensity ayinayo effect. Intensity ayinayo effect if there is no emission. Ngoba la no emission. Since is no emission, if intensity ngisho ngayi-increase ayinayo any impact. But if sekune emission, then there was there is an impact. Now ke la there is an emission. From here there's what? There is an emission. If there is an emission, then the frequency has what? Has an impact. The intensity has an impact. Since now the electrons are emitted. So I hope you got it. Intensity affects what? The number of electrons emitted per second, provided it was emitted. Note that it doesn't initiate electrons to be emitted. Only affects the number of electrons that was already emitted. Like there's already emitted electrons per second. It increases the number of electrons emitted per second, but doesn't initiate the electrons to be emitted. I hope you get that. Okay, let's look at the example, then I will allow Mr. Zulu to take through. Okay, it says 10.1. Learners conduct an experiment to determine whether electrons will be emitted from a metal surface of different metals when the light of a single frequency is incident on that metal. The maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electrons are measured. This means when light of frequency is 1,045 times 10 to the power 15. Learner, the frequency of light. So it's in a frequency of light. That means if it's in a frequency of light, we can determine what? The energy. E is equal to HF. H is 6,63 times 10 to the power of negative 34. Then the frequency of light is what? Is 1,045 times 10 to the power of 15. Then let's get the 6,63 times 10 to the power of times 10 to the power of negative 34. Then we have 1,045 times 10 to the power of 15. Then that's give us 6,93 times 10 to the power of negative 19 joules, because this is an energy. So that is the energy that will be transferred to electrons when this light with this frequency is incident on the surface. Okay, here are different metals used: sodium, zinc, cesium, and metal M. If the same metal, the same light is shown on these four metals, zinc, electrons are emitted, sodium, electrons are emitted, cesium, electrons are emitted, but metal M not emitted. What does that mean? It means that the work function, the required energy, metal M, the work function is greater than what? The energy of light. But at zinc, zero kinetic energy. What does this mean? It means that on zinc, the work function of zinc, the work function of Zn is equal to what? energy of light because it's emitted with what? With zero kinetic energy. We said that if I emitted with zero kinetic energy, the work function is equal to the energy of light. This means we can say now the work function of zinc is 6,93 times 10 to the power of negative 19 joules. Why? Because we know that all this energy is equal to the work function since electrons are emitted with what? With zero kinetic energy. Define the same work function. Work function is the minimum energy required to eject the electron from a metal surface. Then that is the minimum energy required to eject the electron from a metal surface. Write down the threshold frequency of zinc. They know that, oh, sizobona sinokuthi i-threshold frequency ka-zinc is equal to bani? This frequency lena of what? Of light. Therefore, ngoba low frequency is equal to what? The threshold frequency. Since the work function is equal to the energy, that means the threshold frequency of zinc FO is equal to 1,045 times 10 to the power of 15 hertz. That is the work function of what? Of zinc. Then I will allow Mr. Zul to take you through 10.1.3. This is the theory question, 10.1, 10.4. Then move on with other activities. I hope you did enjoy the lesson. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Mtiane. Fruitful information. More theory was covered, which will make problem solving pretty simple. So right now, as we are problem solving, it should be now basic information based on the theory that was covered. So let us go. Okay. How does the work function of sodium compare to that of potassium? Choose smaller than, greater than, equal to, then explain your answer. Okay, grade 12. Now, la magbuza potassium as well as sodium. Now, sodium une maximum kinetic energy 2,53. Look, they give you kinetic energies, but they want you to conclude about what? The work function. Nangu sodium, nangu potassium. Remember, they want you to explain, Bantabam. So you are not making calculations. You are making an explanation. Okay. Now, let us find the relationship between the work function as well as the maximum kinetic energy. There is one. Look, work function is equal to E minus EK max. Now, equation about related ngayo. Uthatha energy minus EK max, then you will get work function. Abayishintshanga light. So when the frequency of light is not being changed, it means the energy of light is the same. Angithi phela you can change the energy of light when you change its frequency or wavelength. So provided you are not changing the frequency of light, it means that the energy will remain the same. So which means for both sodium and potassium, energy remains constant. Aishintsha. Now, buka-ke bafethu, just a little example. You know that 5 minus 3, the answer is 2. But if you now say 5 minus 4, the answer is 1. Into minus, if it increases, the answer will decrease, provided you are minusing from the same number. We were both keeping 5 constant in these two problems. Intermishinja is what you were subtracting. So this answer is greater than this one. So if you are subtracting in number, the result will be greater, provided the number you are subtracting from is not changing. So here we are subtracting from E, and E is not changing, which means between the two, the one that will have a higher kinetic energy will have a lower work function, because after subtracting, you are getting work function. So that's the theory behind this question. Now let us answer. We will then say, okay, work function is equal to E minus EK max. Then you'll say E is constant for both lights, John. Sorry, for both surfaces, because you are shining the same light in both surfaces. So for both surfaces, E is constant. Basically, EK max of FCM is greater than EK max of sodium. Now, if you have a higher EK max, it means your work function will be less. If you have a higher EK max, your work function will be less, since what you are subtracting from does not change. So, but how does the work function of sodium? So, sodium is the one that has a lower EK max, which means the calcium has a higher EK max. Then it means that the work function of sodium is greater. Okay, very good. Now, work function yakhe is greater. Why? Because EK makes work mncane. You are subtracting a number mncane, so you'll get a greater answer than when you are subtracting a number cool, based on that example that we were doing. Light of the same frequency, but higher intensity. Remember, if intensity is increased, Mr. Mtiana said, number of emitted photons per second will increase. Then number of ejected electrons will increase, higher current. Okay, so light of the same frequency but higher intensity is now incident on metal M. This is metal M. We are not ejecting electrons. When you are not ejecting electrons, because they're not emitted, uma engasuki ama-electrons, even if you increase the intensity, still ama-electrons ngekasuki. So to allow will electrons now be ejected? No. No. Why? Because the energy of light is still the same. The work function is still this. So the energy of light is still the same. It's still lesser than the work function. Ngoba ukuze ususa ama-electrons kumele energy ibe greater than the work function. So uma wena unyusa i-intensity, you are not changing the energy, which means usane energy encane, which means you are still not ejecting electrons. So here the answer is no. Reason, energy is still less than work function. That's your reason. Then you get 2 marks. Okay. Let's move on. An experiment. This is the next question. So you can see here for 10 marks. So let us pick up the pace. The experiment is conducted to investigate the relationship between the wavelength. Uma slide, there is a graph like this, so you are not panicking, of the light incident on the metal and the maximum kinetic energy. The graph is not drawn to scale. So here you have EK max in joules, and then here you have wavelength. But in wavelength, I see 3.20. Wavelength here is 3.20 times 10 minus 7 meters. Always be careful of the bracket. The bracket indicates that any number that you take here, first multiply it by 10 to the minus 7 so that it can be in meters. So be very careful about that one. Sometimes students just take this number as it is and think it is wavelength. No, it's not. It will only be wavelength after you have multiplied by 10 to the power of 7 minus 7. Okay. This is just the definition to find the term photoelectric effect. So exactly what Mr. Mtiana explained, slide A2. Now, write down the value of the threshold wavelength. The threshold wavelength. What is the threshold wavelength? It is the maximum wavelength of a surface. It is the maximum wavelength of a surface. Because the threshold wavelength is equivalent to the threshold frequency. Threshold frequency is minimum. Since the wavelength and frequency are inversely proportional, then the threshold wavelength is maximum. Now, look at these numbers we are given here. The maximum number here is 5.40. That's the maximum number you have. So the value of the threshold wavelength will then be 5.40 times, don't forget to multiply by what is inside the bracket, times 10 to the power of -7 meters. So this is your maximum wavelength or threshold wavelength. Okay, next question. Calculate the maximum speed, the one speed of the ejected photoelectrons when kinetic energy is X. When kinetic energy is X. Now let's do this one together. Okay. You're getting easy 5 marks, but there's no need for you to panic in this section. As long as you understand the statement, it should be easy marks. Remember, they want maximum speed. So you first write energy of light is equal to work function plus EK max. Okay, this is what we have. Energy of light, we are given a wavelength 9. U 3.20 times 10 to the power -7. Now this wavelength, we will use this wavelength to find energy. You have a formula to find energy when wavelength is given. It's HC over wavelength is equal to. We also have the threshold wavelength that can be used to find the work function. When you want a work function, you will use the threshold wavelength. Just like when you want a work function given a threshold frequency, you use the threshold frequency. Plus half mass of an electron, V squared max. This is the maximum speed of the electron, and the value the maximum speed of the electron. So let us do the calculation quickly. H is a Planck's constant. Yes, good. H2 6.63 times 10 to the power of -34. Ubani UC 03 times 10 to the power of 8 divided by the wavelength. The wavelength Ubani U3.20 times 10 to the power of -7. You're done with your E. Didn't go to the work function. H, it's still 6.63 times 10 minus 34. Excuse me. C is 3 times 10 to the power of 8. And then the maximum wavelength is 5.40 times 10 minus 7 plus half mass of an electron, 9.11 times 10 minus 31. Okay. V squared max. Remember, you are solving for this V squared before you can put the square roots. Let us take our calculation to this side so that it can be clear. So the answer for this step, I'll write it here. Have my calculator with me. 6.63 times 10 to the power of -34 times 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 3.2 times 10 to the power of -7. I'm getting the energy to be 6.21, sorry, 6.22 times 10 minus 19 is equal to, let me calculate work function now. I'm just going to change the denominator because the numerators are the same. I'm having divided by 5.4. 3.68 times 10 minus 19 plus, I take this half, I multiply 9.11 times 10 minus 31. I'm getting 4,56 times 10 minus 31 v squared max. Okay, now I subtract these two. 6,22 minus 3,68. Yes, I'm getting 2,54 times 10 minus 19 is equal to, the 2,54 is the result of taking 6,22 times 10 minus 19, subtracting i-work function, causing funuk nale part yodwa ngala n of v squared max. So now I'm having 4,56 times 10 minus 31 v squared max. Then I divide by 4,56 times 10 minus 31. I divide by 4,56 times 10 to the power of negative 31. Then I have v squared max to be yes, 5,57 times 10 to the 11. Remember, I want speed, not speed squared. So I put square roots, then the maximum speed (746,333 and 8 meters per second. Then you get your 5 marks, Bantabang. So it's just a long calculation, not that it's difficult. It's just long because there are numbers. You need to be careful and make sure you do them wisely. How will the maximum kinetic energy be affected if light of higher intensity is used? Increase, decrease, remain the same. The answer is remain the same. Why? Because intensity changes the number of electrons emitted, not the maximum energy they have. EK max is equal to the energy minus work function. So when you increase intensity, the energy of light does not change. The work function of the metal does not change because it's still the same metal you are talking about. You just increase the intensity of light in metal, so which means the EK max will remain the same. So the answer is remain the same. Reason, light has same energy and the work function is the same. That's the reason. Same light energy. And same work function. Easy 10 marks, né? So this is a very good topic for us to score marks. We shouldn't lose marks here at grade 12. We should be capitalizing from this section. Let us move on. This is the next question. Now, please bear with me because I want you to look at the question. Then before I say the answer, have the answer on top of your head. The table below shows different metal with their respective threshold frequency. So this is metal A threshold frequency, metal B threshold frequency, metal C threshold frequency, metal D threshold frequency. Now, what is happening here? The threshold frequency of these two have decreased from 2, and then this one has the highest threshold frequency. Now, this one will have the highest work function because work function is directly proportional to the threshold frequency, followed by this one, second highest. Third highest work function, and then this has the lowest work function. So this is our work functions. It's very important, grade 12, to add your information so that you can understanding. Burak, you are shining a light of frequency 3,15. Remember, for electrons to be ejected, the frequency of light should be greater than or equal to the threshold frequency. So you are bringing with 3,15, ne? This 3,15, I agree. It is greater than. So here, yes, it's greater than this one. So the light that we are using is greater than that one, greater than this one, greater than this one. Nope, it's less than metal D. So which means go metal D, no electrons will be ejected. Go to metal ABC, electrons will be ejected since the light has a higher frequency than threshold frequency. So you have that at the back of your mind. For A, electrons will be ejected. Now B, electrons will be ejected. Now C, electrons will be ejected. D, no, they won't be ejected. Okay, define the term threshold frequency. Yes, you are correct. Good. It's the minimum frequency required for electrons to be ejected from the surface of the metal. In which metals A, B, C, D will photoelectric effects not take place? Give a reason for your answer. We have already answered that one. It's D. Reason: the frequency of light is less than the threshold frequency. Calculate the highest maximum speed of the ejected electrons. So out of all these metals, which one will give you the highest maximum speed? The one that will give you the highest maximum speed is the one with the lowest work function. Remember, the maximum speed no work function provided the energy of light is the same. So which means here it's metal C. Okay, metal C will have the highest maximum speed. Why? Because you're on a lowest threshold frequency, which means lowest work function. Remember, E is equal to work function plus EK max. So which means EK max is equal to E minus work function. Good. Now let us first here have mass of an electron, V squared maximum. That's what they are looking for, just like the previous problem. E, it's HF because we're given frequency. We won't use HC over wavelength because wavelength, but now it's frequency. So let us use the suitable formula. Minus H times threshold frequency. Half the mass of an electron, it's 9,11 times 10 minus 31 V squared max. Uyohlezi uqala ubala u-V squared bese uconclude ngokufaka square root, ungasheshe ujaka ukufaka square root. H 6,63 times 10 minus 34. Frequency of light 3,15 times 10 to the 14 minus 6,63 times 10 minus 34. Threshold frequency 0,06 times 10 to the 14. Okay, good. Fast. 4,56 times 10 minus 31 V squared max is equal to you quick when you do these calculations. I'm hoping we're getting the same answer here. 1,989 times 10 to the power of minus 25. Sorry guys, I made a mistake. Yes. It is actually, excuse me, I'm sure you were wondering where I'm getting that answer from. It's 2,09 times 10 minus 19 minus 3,98 times 10 to the power negative 21. So here, you will then divide by 4,56. So let us pick up our pace. 2,09 times 10 to the power of negative 19 minus the answer, then divide by times 10 to the power of negative 31. 4,5 times 10 to the power of 11, then square root. So the maximum speed that we are getting here, 670,529 and 38 meters per second. Okay, get your 5 marks, easy. If the intensity is decreased, what will happen to the speed of electrons calculated? It will remain the same. Remember, intensity does not affect the kinetic energy nor speed. Okay. Oh, explain the formation of the atomic emission spectrum. This one will use the following theory so that you can be able to answer it. Okay. So when you have electrons are at different energy levels. So electrons are at different energy levels. You learned that in grade 10. So energy level 4, energy level 3, energy level 2, energy level 1, energy level 0. Of course, let us say energy level 1, let us end there. So electrons, they are ejected when they get here to the last energy level. So where we call it, they are in an excited phase or state. So when electrons are here, that's when they can be ejected. But electrons are not all of them here. Some of them are here, some of them are here, some of them are at energy level 2. And of course, some of them are at energy level 1. So when you shine a light, energy level 1, our keep. Now, a light is then absorbed by the electron energy level 4. This electron absorb light and gain energy. Remember, Mr. Mtiana said the photon give electrons the energy. So the energy they get from photon, they absorb it. And then they absorb it, then they have energy to move up. They have energy to move up because but now they are getting the power to even move upwards because they get energy from the light. Now, when electrons they go up, just like other electrons so that they can be ejected. Now, when electrons they go up, energy level from energy level 4 to energy level 3 to energy level 2 to energy level 1, they give out into a light absorption spectrum. Line absorption spectrum, which is a spectrum that you get just by electrons absorbing light so that they can move to lower energy level or higher energy level. So it depends on my numbers. What we bear kanjani. Yini lena a line absorption spectrum that is formed by our electrons absorbing light so that they can move to our energy level. Now, let us say electron gets here at energy level 2. Lingakwazi ukufika la lizokwazi kuba ejected khona. Let us say lisuka le ezathi ithole energy, but the energy can only leave it to energy level 2. Phela vele kwi surface of a metal akhona ama electrons azophuma, but abanye ngeke aphume because maningi phela ama electrons there. You can only get the number of electrons that you can get when you are shining that light. Once you are here ukushine lights abasekho phela azophuma. Kodwa khona amanye asuke esondele funa ukuzophuma. Now, when it gets here, let's bayicisha le lights. Bayicisha le lights looking energy for me to move up. Then electrons will move back to their original energy level. Remember, their intention to go up was to be ejected. So when they are no longer ejected, they go back to their original energy level and they emit the light like a baton. angithi banyuswa yona le light but bangaphumi ayisale kanjalo ke le light. They emit that light or emit a photon, of course, photon and light. Ngiyeke phansi because I'm no longer going anywhere. That is why my electrons uma sebuyela back down, they form a line emission spectrum because they emit a light. So ile mbuzo nje wathi cha ifumeka kanjani light emission spectrum. Light emission spectrum is formed ukuthi ama-electrons they first absorbed light and moved to the higher energy level, but they were not ejected, so they had to go back down to their original energy level and then light was emitted. That's forming a line emission spectrum. The line on the atomic spectrum, line emission spectrum, as a result of the electron transitioning between energy levels. Yes, electrons gains heat, they transition to a higher state of energy, hence higher energy level. Yes, as the element cools, the electron drop back down. Why it cooler? It cooler down ngoba ayisekho le energy kade igaina, so it cooler down bese ibuyela back to square one, to the lower energy state. As they do that, they emit the light that they were absorbing. So akala absorber and then aya emit, and thus they form photons. Therefore, each electron gives off a frequency of light which corresponds with the line emission spectrum. Okay. So this is what we were saying. So as I said, we are back down. A number is work 4, so we're going down. As we are back down, then they emit the light. Now, there is a way to get the energy associated. We have almost like 4, 1. You can get the light emitted by saying the energy energy. One minus energy level 4. The difference between the level and the level will give you the energy of light that was emitted, and you can divide by the Planck's constant to get frequency. The light then it will be the difference between energy level 1 and energy level 3. It will give you the energy of light that is associated with this electron or photon that is ejected, light that is emitted. And then here you will get 2. The energy level difference between 1 and 2. Okay, now continuous emission spectra, it looks like this. It continuous yona, it's shiny everywhere. Akukho la khona ngathi khona igamile namalini, it's just clear throughout. It's a continuous emission spectra. And then the atomic absorption spectra, remember, yona related nama cold gas. So when a light passes through cold gas, no good layer atomic absorption spectrum. Kodwa uma a light passes through the hot gas, no good, it is an atomic emission spectrum. So kungenzeka kwi-problem bakunika i-light kanje bese kuthiwa cold gas kuphela, bese kuthiwa kuzoba yiphi spectrum ikhasi. Wena isho ukuthi kuzoba i-atomic absorption spectrum where electron absorb light and move to the higher energy level, bese kufumeka ama-darker lines. Darker lines are formed in an atomic absorption spectrum. Dark lines are formed. And then maybe a hot gas, when I ask okay, lana and a hot gas, I says cooler down, go by asa hot. Now I says when they will emit light, best light lines or lines that are not dark, but are clear here. It's funny we said light lines. So they're not dark, they are lighter here as they are emitting. Okay. Now let's look at this question together. The diagram below shows a phototube that was used to demonstrate the photoelectric effect. The demonstration was carried out by shining light from a red, green, blue, and ultraviolet light sources. Now what is happening here? My lights are changed. Ayashintshwa ama-lights bantu. As ama-lights eshintshwa, it means frequency of light changes as well. Hence, energy of light is not constant, it's changed. Remember, the energy of light was constant. Particularly, the energy of light is not constant because you are using different light source. But you are shining them in the same surface. So the surface is still the same. Analytic pair that you are changing. So if surface is the same, it means work function is not changing, it's constant. Because one Kelama lights, they are being shown on the same metal surface. As they are being shown on the same metal surface, it means the work function is just the same. The results were recorded below. But shine a red light. Roy Chipev. Remember Roy Chipev? As we go down from red light to violet light, if frequency is increasing. Roy Chipev, if frequency is increasing. So red light has the lowest frequency. And then ultraviolet has the highest frequency, according to Roy Chipev. Okay. As you can see, with red light, there are no reading we emit. Remember again, is we emit, are you reading? Definition of emit. Yes. Rate of flow of charge. So for you to get a reading we emit, your electrons have to be ejected because my electrons are charged. So my electrons engeko ejected, it means there will be no reading we emit. That is why good red light, there's no reading we emit. It means that good red light, no electrons were ejected. And the reason our electrons are not ejected, it's because a frequency red light is less than a threshold frequency of the metal. That's the reason. So here, frequency is less than threshold frequency. But go green, no blue, no ultraviolet, frequency is increased. Which means green, no blue, ultraviolet. Be frequency, umuntu nomuntu frequency yakhe. Frequency ya green, shuthi inkulu ne threshold ingakho kune current. Frequency ya blue, shuthi inkulu ne threshold ingakho kune current. Frequency ya ultraviolet, shuthi inkulu ne threshold frequency ingakho kunani kune reading on the ammeter. Okay, let us go to question. What is meant by photoelectric effect? Just definition. Explain why there's no reading on the ammeter when a red light is used. So I explain now, okay, it's because frequency of red light is less than the threshold frequency of the metal. Of a metal, or just of any a photo tube, but just say metal just for simplicity. For the following statement, use, increase, decrease, or remain the same. To complete the statement, the kinetic energy of photoelectrons when ultraviolet light is shown on the surface of the phototube instead of green light. Yes, the kinetic energy of photoelectron increases. Now let us explain. Let us explain, Mandaba. Bukanike ngane zami. Angithi EK max ne is equal to energy of light minus work function. Says Shilo lana ukuthi work function is not changing. Okusho ukuthi EK max now depends on E. So the higher the energy of light, then EK max will be higher as well. Since work function is the same for all light. And EK max is a result of energy minus work function. So wona wonke lama lights lawa you are subtracting into efanayo minus work function efanayo. So into eshintshayo la i-energy ishintsha ukuthi you are changing ama lights. So no EKMX uzobe seyashintsha because of that. I increase and I. For example, 5 minus 2, the answer is 3. But if you now say 7 minus 2, the answer is 5. If you say 9 or 19 minus 2, the answer is 17. So this mimics i-work function. Lento minus wayo i-work function. Lento o minus from yona i-energy. So as the energy khuphuka, i-answer yakho, which is EKMX, iya increase kwayona. So hence why we are saying ngalana i-kinetic energy yanyuka uma ultraviolet isebenzile instead of green light. Since ultraviolet has a higher frequency, thus higher energy than blue, it means no EKMX will be increased. The reading on the ammeter when green light of higher intensity is shown. Explain this observation. Higher intensity. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, if it's higher intensity, point number 1, number of emitted photons per second increases. Right? So number of emitted photons per second increases. Into yokuqala le yenzakalayo uma increase the intensity. But when we ask ukuthi i-photon and keep i-electron. So uma esenyukile ama-photons afikayo, shothi ama-electrons azophuma azoba maningi. Thus, number of ejected electrons per second increases. Now, uma a number of ejected electrons increases, it means that current will increase. Then you get yourself 3 marks. So you always answer it in this fashion. Number of emitted photons per second increases. Number of ejected electrons per second increases. Current will increase. Whenever you increase the intensity. Provided a light was already moving electrons. If a light was not moving electrons, best about your red light, even if you increase the intensity of red light, still no electrons will be ejected. Ngoba very energy equal enough. So whether you are increasing the intensity, still energy equal enough. You want to eject. So the reading on the ammeter will increase because the reading with ammeter current. Okay, then we explained. The cathode is made of copper with a work function of 3,52 times 10 minus 19 joules. It's made of copper with a work function of 3,52 times 10 to the power of negative 19 joules. So this is the work function. Remember, it's in the formula here. It's the energy of light is equal to work function plus EKMX. It's 5 marks. Remember, to speed. We go 5 marks. Speed. If the ultraviolet light with a wavelength of 390 nanometers, a wavelength of light 390 nanometers. Remember, a wavelength should be in meters, not in nanometers. So a wavelength will be 390 times 10 minus 9 meters, because nano is times 10 minus 9. Also, now wavelength of light, you can now calculate the energy of light. You know, energy of light is equal to hc over wavelength. If you are given a wavelength, h yamazi, 6,63 times 10 to the power of negative 19, c uyamazi, 3 times 10 to the 8, wavelength you just given yona, you 390 times 10 to the power of negative 9. Then let us see what the energies of Obani quickly. I'm so sorry. It's 3 times 10 to the power minus 34. Thank you. Then the energy of light is 5,1 times 10 to the power of negative 19 joules. And the work function uyinikiwe bathi asibale i-maximum speed. So sizothini-ke wena? EK max is equal to energy minus work function half mass of an electron V squared max is equal to 5,1 times 10 minus 19. Put your parentheses minus 3,52 times 10 minus 19 half mass of an electron 9,11 times 10 minus 31 V squared max you get 1,58 times 10 minus 19 ufuna ukusala no V squared max so divide ngalo half 9,11 times 10 minus 31 nangala uzodivide ngalo half 9,11 times 10 minus 31. You are correct if you first simplified this to be 4,56 times 10 minus 31. Still correct. So V squared max will then be 3,46 times 10 to the power of 11. Then you find square root. 588,635,06 meters per second. Then you get your 5 marks. So since you 4 equal 5 marks, I'm hoping you guys are now following how easy it is to score marks here. Okay. All right, let us allow you to take this note. Then we wrap up our session. Remember, we told you that photoelectric effects is just a section you need to score a lot of marks on. In photoelectric effects, you're looking at two things, light as well as the metal. A light has frequency and wavelength. A metal has threshold frequency and work function. Whenever a light has energy that is greater than work function, electrons will be emitted. Whenever a light has energy that is less than work function, no electrons will be emitted. Now, even if you increase intensity, electrons will still not be emitted. But if light is able to emit electrons and you increase intensity of that light that is able to remove electrons, then you can conclude that the current will increase. Always remember that. Then we went into absorption spectrum as well as emission spectrum. We said absorption spectrum is where you move from lower energy level to higher energy level so that you can be ejected. And then emission spectrum, it's where you go back down lower. And then you're going back down. Cold gas, absorption. Hot gas, emission. Absorption spectrum has darker line. Emission spectrum has lighter lines. This is what we had for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed and you gained the knowledge because that's what is important. Then we were able to even do the example so that you guys can understand. We appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much for always being with us on Tuesdays. We value your times. We'll meet again next week Tuesday doing another topic because we've already wrapped up with this one. And then this will you'll use these as tools to make sure that you earn marks, maximum marks, not just marks, maximum marks come physics September as well as the final exam. We salute you guys. Thank you.